What you gonna do, brother? I am here playing, well, not playing, I'm watching myself play Mega Man 04. Hello. Moments ago, I posted a "What you gonna do" reference to Hulk Hogan. I would like to apologize sincerely to the internet and to the Mega Man Zero community for this reference, which I have since been informed was offensive and deeply upsetting to a fair amount of people. And also, I would like to apologize for referring to Xander as orange. I referred to him as having orange coloring. And I understand now that this is something that can be interpreted as being very offensive to people who are orange. And I did not mean any offense by my usage of the term orange menace when talking about Xander. And I deeply regret my usage of the term orange menace, and I would like to apologize to anyone who is offended by my actions. And I will try very hard to do better in my life. So once again, I deeply apologize to anyone who was upset or hurt by my saying "what you gonna do" or my reference to Xander as the orange menace. Thank you. So yeah, this is the final Mega Man Zero game out of the 4. I think this series had a lot of potential. I think it could have gone on longer. They could have done like 6 or 7 of these, I think, because these games play very well. They're really good games, especially for the Game Boy Advance. I don't think I've really spent enough time talking about how good these games actually are. But yeah, they're pretty darn good. The problem with the Mega Man Zero series is just that it's so hard. That these games are just really, really hard. And, for some people that's totally fine. It's great. You jump into it, get into that challenge and everything. But for like a mainstream audience, there's such a thing as being like prohibitively hard, where a game is just like too prohibitively hard for the mainstream to really get into and enjoy. And I think that the Mega Man Zero games definitely cross that line. They cross that threshold. So yeah, there we've got Dr. Weil, who is a 200-year-old man who has converted himself into a machine, and his preserved head is inside of that cone. That cone right there. It's actually full of like formaldehyde or something, and his preserved head is in there. It's all like shriveled up and everything. So it's an interesting idea. I just wish it was actually Dr. Wily, because that would have made so much more sense. So yeah, Dr. Weil, he's reigning supreme, he's dominating, he's winning the war. Everybody's on the run from him. Our heroes they're like this ragtag band trying to like get away, and it's not a good time for our heroes in the Mega Man Zero universe, to say the least. These games are interesting, and they have a lot of personality, and they definitely have like a much darker tone than most of the Mega Man games. And I actually really like the 4 Mega Man Zero games. And I feel like that hasn't come through at all in these videos, because the videos have mostly been me giving out about, things that they did that I didn't like. But yeah, these games are cool. Here's Zero, he jumps in with his sword. Very cool. Introducing him with a bang on this one. Alright, here we go. So I give myself 1 extra life, and if I die more than once, the run's over. So we'll see how I do with that. First thing I always do, this is a new screen. There's a new addition. First thing I do is always change the controls just a tad bit. Yeah, I keep the dash on R1 so I can press that and jump together, like boom, boom. Very, very useful for X games and also Zero games. Not sure what's going on with my playing here. I'm taking a lot of damage, and I'm moving really slowly. Like, what am I doing? Now, I played this a little while ago, so I'm standing in fire now. What's going on here? Yeah, I played this a little while ago, and I'm reacting to gameplay that I already recorded a while ago. So I don't know what's going to happen, and so far I'm just as bewildered as anybody else. I'm just like, you know, why am I playing so poorly? Please no more standing in fire. I mean, that's just like, at the very least, just no more standing in fire. Just no more of that. Anywho, yeah, I like these games. They're cool. With just a few tweaks, I think they would have been pretty damn awesome, actually. With, you know, just a few tweaks. Nothing even huge. Mainly just like story tweaks. Lower the difficulty a little bit. Just things like that. I think it could have been really good in that regard. And I'm not joined, like I usually am, by my hetero life mate, the Orange Menace, Xander. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, I hear something. Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Oh, hello. Hello, little fella. Oh, let's see what we got here. It's the Orange Menace. Oh. Oh. There he is. Say hello. Damn, this shirt's gonna be all orange now. Damn, I got fur all over it. Why? See, I can't have any black shirts because they get covered in fluff because of this guy. They get covered in his blonde fluff. Yeah, buddy. Doing another one of these. Yeah. So yeah, I've been doing How Far Can I Get Without Dying videos for like a good 10 years now. And we're coming up on the end of this series, which is why I'm making sure to get Xander in all of these. I only have a few episodes left. I think 4 to be exact. This episode that we're doing right now, this is the very last Mega Man video. It's like the very last like Mega Man playthrough for this series. However, I have 3 more videos after this that are like replays. They're replays of Mega Man games that I believe I already did, but I'm just going to replay them to do a little bit better. And then I have one final video, which is just going to be like the ending to the series. So yeah, we've only got 4 left after this one. This is the 5th to last How Far Can I Get video. Actually, wait. This actually isn't the very last, like, Mega Man that I'm covering. There's also a Mega Man for the Game Gear. Oh man, yeah, I forgot about Mega Man for the Game Gear. So yeah, there will be one more after this. And then after Mega Man for the Game Gear, then there's just 3 more videos and then the series is over. So yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that that Game Gear was one I hadn't actually covered before. Anywho, I might as well just go ahead and say what the last few videos are going to be. We've got Mega Man for Game Gear. Then we've got more of this guy. Listen to this rumble. Yeah. Alright, so after this one, we've got 4 more. We got Mega Man for Game Gear. Then we've got a rematch with Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy. I'm going to see if I can beat that game. Then after that, we've got a rematch with Mega Man X, the first one, because I really want to do better with that game. It's worth another shot. You know, I had the one video where I played it for like 10 minutes and died. It's just worth more than that. It deserves better. And then finally, the very last video is going to be the ending capstone. And that one's not even going to be Mega Man. It's just going to be the ending to the series. So yeah, those are the 4 remaining videos. And yeah. So yeah, Mega Man for Game Gear, Mega Man 2 for Game Boy, Mega Man X, and the final video. But first, 04. Oh, what's Dr. Weil up to? Alright, here we go. So this game seems a little bit linear. Was there even a stage select, or did it just drop me into the next level? I wasn't looking because I was hanging out with this guy and chatting. So yeah, the cool thing about the Zero series is that you can use his blaster, or you can use the Z-Saber. You don't have to just use like one or the other. And the Z-Saber is actually really good. Like in the X series, generally you have to choose between either the blaster or the saber, depending on what character you're playing as. Until X6, because in X6, one of the few good things about X6 is that Mega Man gets the Z-Saber, so he can use the Z-Saber in combat. The problem is they heavily nerfed it, so when Zero uses the Z-Saber, he's very agile. He can swing it while he's running, you know, things like that. But in Mega Man X6, when X uses the Z-Saber, all he can do are just these big, powerful swings, and he's stationary, like he can't move. He just stands still and just goes like a big two-handed sword. And it does a decent amount of damage, like if you get close to a boss, but it makes you vulnerable for a couple seconds while this animation plays out. So it's kind of terrible. So you really have to play this series if you want to play a game where you have both the Buster and the Saber, and they're both actually good and usable, and you can switch between them as you go on the fly, which is really cool. Generally, the Buster is better because you want to fight things at range, keep them away from you, don't let them get close. But the Saber does a lot more damage, and if you play carefully, the Saber can absolutely decimate everything in your path. You just have to be a little bit cautious about, you know, moving forward so you don't run into everything. So yeah, the Buster's the safer weapon, and the Z-Saber is the more powerful, skill-based, I guess you could say, weapon. Alright, there we go. This might actually be a good time to brush the cat a little bit. Oh, that's right, we're gonna brush the cat. He's got a lot of, he's not like matted or anything, but he's got a little bit of knotting in his fur here and there. So I need to give him a good brushing with this. There we go. Oh. He's so spoiled, this guy. Gee, he's so spoiled. See, when I adopted this cat, he lived on a barn. He lived on a barn with a bunch of cows. There wasn't really a whole lot of things for him to do. And it was pretty dangerous, you know, a lot of coyotes and whatnot in the area. Just not really a safe area. But thankfully I was able to adopt him and get him to a safe place. Gotta be a little careful brushing the underside of the belly, you know, you want to watch out for those nipples. So yeah, I gave this guy a good life. And yep, I don't know if he realizes all this, like I don't know if he's thankful, but yes. Alright, so we got a boss fight. I'm sure I'll win, no big deal. I'm just gonna brush this guy. There we go. Water. Alright, so I defeated the boss. Looks like there's another boss. Oh, you ready to go? Alright. I'll stop spoiling and pampering you then. Jesus. I have so much fur on this shirt now. This is unbelievable. We're right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm back just in time to choose a mission, apparently. Alright. It's starting to actually resemble a Mega Man game. So we've got a bunch of levels here. This is weird. I don't know what to make of this. Okay, I think the ones that are glowing are the levels I can choose. So there's 4 of those. Here we've got the Deep Sea with Tech Kraken. Living City with... Wait, so... Okay, so there's 8 levels here. There's 8 levels, but only 4 of them are glowing. I don't know what that means. Artificial Sun. That sounds interesting. Hanging Gardens. That sounds interesting, too. This is definitely the ice level. We got Hibernation Chamber, probably the ice level. I hope I go with... Yeah, it looks like I'm going with Soul. All right. I was going to say, yeah, go with the Sun level. That sounds interesting. And it looks like I am doing that very thing. All right. So now she's going to warp our hero to the level. Cool, cool. You know, I remember this game being pretty solid when I played through the whole thing. Like 20 years ago, I want to say. 15, something like that. I remember this being a pretty solid game. And also, it's much easier than the other 3 Zero games. So, like, I think Mega Man 01 is probably the hardest, and then it just kind of gets easier from there. But 04 is, like, much easier than the first 3. So it's like they descend. They descend in difficulty over the first 3, and then 4 just like, boom, you know. Why is it much easier? That I'm not sure of. Just the level design is much... Uh-oh. Oh no, dude. Yeah, I think if that gets to 100, something bad happens. Like if you're in the sunlight and it gets all the way to 100%, you're dead, I think. So you want to stay out of that sunlight. But yeah, I think the level design in this game is much more accommodating. It's... yeah, it's nowhere near as rough as the first 3. Okay, dude, you should probably get in the shade. Okay, there we go. Whew. This is kind of gripping. Dude! If I get hit one more time, that's it. Okay. Whew. Alright, need to heal. Need a heal. Oh, jeez. Need a heal. Dude, what are you doing? Get out of the sun. Get out of the sun. Dude, what are you doing? What even was that? Seriously. Like, I'm just playing badly in this one. I would go back and do this again and have like a better performance, but I really don't feel like revisiting the Zero series. I'm only doing that with Mega Man X and Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy. Just because those two in particular, I think I can outperform how I did. So I'm going to give them both another try. But yeah, as far as the Zero series goes, if someone is only going to play like one Mega Man Zero, I would say that this is the best one to go with. Like, no question. Maybe the first one, if your intent is to play all four of them, if your intent is to go through the whole series, and, you know, maybe it's your possible intent. You're going to give it a try. Maybe you won't be able to because it's difficult. Maybe you won't make it. But you're going to at least try to go through the series. Then start with 0-1. As hard as it is, hey, maybe you'll make it and you can get the series going right from the beginning. But if you're planning definitely to only play one of these just to give it a shot, I think 0-4 is the one to go with, because it's just a much easier game to get into. And it's very to the point as well. Like the levels get right to the point, the gameplay is right to the point. It's just a solid game. So this is my recommendation for the Zero series if you are going to try one. Uh-oh, this is not going well. I think this might be it. Yep, that's it. Damn. I think with that mini boss, I needed to stay back, like stay against the left wall, and maybe use the Buster instead for that one. So anyway, that's... Oh, I'm gonna try again. Okay, we're gonna give it one more try. Here we go. But either way, the video is over. That was my last death, so the video is over after this. But yeah, the Zero series, interesting quadrilogy of games. Very hard. Even the fourth one, which is the easiest, still pretty hard. I'm glad that they made these, even though I had a lot of problems with the Zero series. I'm glad they exist. More Mega Man is always a good thing, unless it's X7, because X7 can jump off a cliff.